So big election today, the Karnataka election, and Karnataka is my home state. So watching this one very closely. Now, of course, the exit polls suggested that the Congress would win or would walk away with a larger number of seats, but this is a massive difference. 134, 136, the final numbers are up on your screen. The BJP settling somewhere close to 64. But here are the big takeaways of the analysis of what happened, right? A lot of what the mainstream media is not going to point out is that there was a massive campaign by the BJP. All the muscle was in it, which is big chief ministers, massive union ministers flew down to Karnataka. The Prime Minister himself addressed 19 public meetings and 6 road shows. The Home Minister was there. So all of the BJP muscle was on the ground in Karnataka to push a victory out of the state, and they didn't get a victory. So what went wrong? Now, here are a couple of things that I personally found to be very interesting in this particular election. Remember, Karnataka has always been an anti-incumbency state, which means it always votes for the other guy in every election. So it's gone between BJP, Congress, and so on, and the JDS, which is a factor in the state. But this time, it seems like the local issues were more important. And the BJP and the national BJP was not able to really understand that. Now, these local issues were in rural Karnataka, which has given a really strong response to the Congress. It's unemployment. It's a lack of perhaps not feeling involved enough with the success that Bangalore is experiencing, and sort of feeling left out. So there's severe unemployment in rural Karnataka, and there's a lot of inflation. There was talk about the cost of gas cylinders, but generally just keeping one's home running seemed extremely difficult. And this is a local issue that the BJP's campaign didn't really respond to. In urban Karnataka, in cities like Bangalore, it's infrastructure and corruption that was the real problem, right? Even during the Prime Minister's, road shows in Bangalore, they actually managed to aggravate 2 pain points for the citizens of Bangalore, which is traffic and the fact that the security actually trimmed the trees in Bangalore and cut branches off the trees so that they're able to see rooftops for security reasons. But it just irked people off, and social media was full of messages of people just being more and more inconvenienced. And remember, infrastructure, or the lack of it, is a huge pain point in Bangalore. Traffic is a massive issue. Pillars of construction, metro construction falling on citizens, things like this, grave signs of corruption, which sort of plagued the Bommai government going into this election. The BJP was not adequately able to respond to it, and that anti-incumbency really played out. But the thing that I felt the BJP did not realize was the language point. The state of Karnataka is currently at a crossroads on the language. People are feeling, left out. Kannadigas feel that nobody speaks the language anymore in Bangalore. It's being taken over by outsiders. And whether or not that feeling is right is a discussion for a different day. But in this election, what happened was the big campaigns that came in were national leaders who didn't speak the language. And so they weren't able to make that connect with the citizens of Karnataka because they weren't able to communicate with them in Kannada. And I think that was the big disconnect. Whereas on the Congress, on the other hand, they have local leaders. Their main Congress president happens to be Kannadiga at this point. Mallikarjun Kharge flew down, spoke Kannada. A lot of that, their campaigns were local. They spoke to local issues, they picked local leaders, and they were able to address those points. Caste is a massive point in Karnataka, and you've heard a lot of people talk about the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas. These are large groups of people. Yediyurappa, who was a former chief minister of Karnataka, who was replaced by the BJP High Command with Bommai, commanded a lot of the Lingayat vote. And I don't think that vote sort of transferred, even though his son stood for election. Yediyurappa is a very popular leader, and Mr. Bommai is not. And I don't think that vote of the Lingayat vote has transferred to the BJP, and they managed to hold on to it. And that, I think, has hurt them even more. So while on one hand, the local issues were not addressed, I think the thing that most Kannadigas will tell you is that the Hindu-Muslim conflict has never been characteristic of the state. I grew up in Karnataka. It's never been an issue in the state. And so the hijab, the halal, the, all of these things that came up, the Tipu Sultan conflict or the controversy, I don't think it rung any, at any particular point, so it settled anywhere in the minds of the voters as issues that they were going to vote on. And so technically what might have worked in states in North India has not worked in this state. And what has happened now is that the BJP has lost Karnataka, which was its only state in Karnataka, and so in South India, and so there is no BJP government in South India at all. What does this mean going forward, right? We have the big 2024 general elections. The Prime Minister seeming as strong as ever going into those general elections. But what this would mean is that it would give the opposition and the Congress a little spring in their step and some confidence going into that general elections that, their shoulders have not entirely dropped. Now, Karnataka is an important state. It is a state that we've pointed out repeatedly contributes a great deal in taxes to the country. It also contributes 28 Lok Sabha seats in the general elections as well. I must point out here, states like Karnataka tend to vote differently in the general election and vote differently in state elections. But like I said, this victory, this resounding victory will mean a lot to the Congress party and to the opposition going into the general elections. Remember, many other opposition leaders right now have made statements complimenting the Congress party on their win. The Congress party is giving a lot of the credit to Rahul Gandhi and the Bharat Jodo Yatra. It's been pointed out by some analysts that this might actually leave their local leaders a little, sullen, because they should be getting more credit. They did most of the work. But infighting has always been the Achilles heel of the Congress party. They even now have a two-headed dragon in Karnataka. They have DK Shivkumar, who is the KPCC chairperson, which is the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee chairperson. He's fought this, this battle really hard. And on the other hand, you have Siddaramaiah, who is the popular leader. So then, again, two people that the Congress has to choose one of. It's not going to be an easy decision, and everybody's waiting to see what happens. We also understand that hotels or resorts have been booked in Tamil Nadu. A conversation has been had with the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu to ship out MLAs if that becomes necessary. But it doesn't seem like it will be necessary right now because the gap is just simply too wide. An analysis of where the votes went. In the morning, it seemed like urban Karnataka had voted more for the BJP, but as the day has progressed, it seems that urban Karnataka has also voted for the Congress. The Congress is leading in more of those seats. There was one question that popped up on Instagram as to what is this Bombay Karnataka, Hyderabad Karnataka, Mysore Karnataka. This is basically an old demarcation of what parts of these states used to belong to the erstwhile presidencies. Bombay Presidency, Nizam's Hyderabad, and the old Mysore Presidency. So the demographic is different, it tends to vote differently, which is why the analysis happens that way. It's now called Kittur Karnataka and Kalyan Karnataka, but the Congress has done well in central Karnataka, in the old Mysore region. Of course, we have the JDS that's also done well in the old Mysore region, which is its stronghold. And Mumbai Karnataka is where the Congress has done well also. The JDS, a quick look at the JDS, they haven't done too badly. They haven't done better than they had expected either. It's more or less the same. The JDS is a party that's sort of weakening its hold. It continues to have some seat share in its old stronghold of the Mysore region. That's also because H.D. Devegowda is still on the ground and very strong. He's in his 90s, but he's a formidable politician in Karnataka. There isn't too much of a succession plan post Mr. Devegowda, but for now they still have some seats, and so they'll have some ability and some voice in assembly. But it seems like since the Congress is not going to need any help to form the government, the normal kingmaker that H.D. Kumaraswamy is used to playing, he might not get that opportunity this time. So anti-incumbency playing out again, the people of Karnataka being very clear about the fact that they want their local issues addressed. And perhaps the language problem is something that people would have to pay closer attention to, especially when it comes to the South. Having leaders fly down from Delhi and make speeches in Hindi and have someone translate it for the audience doesn't seem to have really clicked this time. Well, if you like the analysis, remember, like, share, subscribe, share the video, leave us a comment, and if there's anything else you'd like to know, it would be my pleasure to answer those questions for you.